This is Kelly, I'm Mike, and it's time for another edition of Home Advantage. And you said something during our last show that kind of spurred on, oh my gosh, that would be a good idea. Emotional attachment to a home.
Right.
Which happens in many forms, correct?
Yes, I see it all the time, yes.
Yeah, like how?
It's different than any other product. You know, your car, you're going to use it, you're going to drive it, and still we do have some cars that we love and hate.
And name, yeah.
But, it's not like having a computer or a desk. Like, we get emotionally attached to our houses because we live in them. Life takes place in them.
Right.
Like,
the memories
a
are here.
daughter walks down the steps on her wedding morning, like, Christmases, like, you do form this attachment to your house.
Right.
And so we see in many cases when somebody passes away and you inherit a family house, or maybe you've lived in the house for 20 years, you raised your kids there, you're an empty nester, it's time to downsize, but you've got some attachments to your house, or even divorces can be hard on that because one party doesn't necessarily want to leave the house.
Right.
So all kinds of reasons that we find ourselves needing to sell a house that we don't want to sell.
Right, and that brings up how much you want to get for the house. You want to get as much as you can, but it's your job to find a realistic price.
Right.
And that's kind of a juggling act, isn't it?
It is, because sometimes we have to realize, the data is the data, and this is the price point for where the house should be. And even though our emotions are a little bit high, or we think it's worth more because we see value in it that maybe a buyer's not going to recognize right away. So it is a little bit of a juggling act trying to find what's going to make you happy and what's going to fulfill your needs, and yet what's still realistic with the market, regardless of our emotional attachment. Are
there times where you're like, okay, we'll go with your price, but I'm telling you, if it's not that 3 weeks from now, we need to make an adjustment?
I try and say it nice.
I just said it nice.
Yes, there are times when it's like, let's try it out. Let's see what the market says. In this market, we know. I mean, if it doesn't sell within a couple of weeks, it's not priced right, and we've got to do an adjustment.
Okay.
But, the old saying, you can't go up, so people sometimes want to start higher and they can bring it down.
Yeah.
We'll work with you as much as we can, as long as it's within reason.
Well, not every house is worth $350,000.
Right.
The difference between $90,000, $80,000, $70,000 for someone that's selling a house is important to them. That's a big, $10,000 is a big deal for them. So how do you kind of get that data, especially in a neighborhood maybe where people aren't selling their houses?
Well, usually from within the school district or within a couple of miles, we can pull enough comps, similar square foot, similar year built, similar style, and we're looking at how long did those sit on the market, what were they asking, what did they sell for, do they have any upgrades, or does your house have any upgrades, and then we adjust accordingly, and we come up with our sale price from that data.
And just because Dad built the roof himself doesn't mean that the person coming in will find that to be a value that raises the price of the house, right? Ooh, that's a tough conversation to have, I would think.
It can be.
Yeah. Well, if you're ready to have those conversations, these are the folks that can do it. Kelly's website is?
kellysoldit.com.
And then if you'd like to get a hold of them, they have 2 locations, Trumbull County and Mahoning County. Give them the phone number.
330-717-2689.
All right. Good luck selling the house.